Hi, it's me again. Welcome to part 2. Uh, I thought I would start off this video by going into a little bit more detail on my anxiety. For me, typically, it's it's a flip of the coin what my day's going to be like. Some days I can't get out of bed. Other days I have kind of agoraphobia, which is I don't want to leave the house, go outside. If I am able to go outside, let's say I drive somewhere, sometimes I can't leave the car. Like if I have to go to the grocery store or whatever, I'll drive there and then I just am unable to leave my car. So it's never consistent to where I can do everything I want to do, which is a big problem. I do have a wife and 2 kids, so it affects them, and I feel bad about that because as much as it affects me, it affects them too, because sometimes we are supposed to go somewhere and we can't go because maybe I can't go, or my wife will have to go by herself or with the kids, and it's not easy to understand. I understand, I get that, because you look like you always do. There's no, except for maybe not smiling or not saying a lot, you look like you always do when you have anxiety. It's not like a broken leg where you see the cast, there's something wrong. It's not always clear. So it's hard for other people, not just me, and I just want to take this opportunity to thank my friends, my family, for maybe not fully understanding, but trying to stick by me and work with me, and even have me around when sometimes I won't talk or I can't eat. Oh, and that's another thing I want to say. If you ever invited me somewhere and I don't eat the food, it's not because I don't like it and I don't want to be rude. It's that my anxiety is high and I'm unable to eat, just like I'm not able to talk or socialize. It affects the eating as well, or if I don't take my hat off or whatever. I know it can be not easy, and probably hard to invite me to something when there's a chance I might not go or I might not interact, and I don't want other people to feel weird about it or wonder, what's that guy's problem? He doesn't say much or do much. But I thank my friends and my family for still doing these things with me and realizing that I will not always be social, talking or eating or whatever. So I thank everybody for that. So what is a typical day like for me? If I'm able to function, my day starts about 5 a.m. I take my wife to work, and then I take my kids. They go to 2 different schools, so I have to drive them. I find taking my wife to work is easier than taking my kids, because when I take my wife to work there's nobody around, it's 5 a.m., there's not a lot of people, and it's easier for me to do that. I just drop her off and we leave. When I take my kids to school, there's a lot of things that are going on, and that's another problem with my anxiety, is a lot of input. It's like sensory overload for me when there's a lot of kids running around and there's a lot of chaos, cars driving everywhere, people cutting each other off, and that leads to the negativity aspect that I can't handle as well. So some days I can take my wife to work, but some days I can't take my kids to school. We don't have busing here, so I am forced to drive them to school. So, you know, I apologize, you know, to my family that I can't always take my kids to school. You know, it is a problem, and I do the best I can. So like I said, the sensory overload is a big problem with me. I can't handle too much of noise and chaos, people moving around, you know, kids running around. Anything like that is going to set me off, trigger my anxiety. Negativity, I don't watch the news, I don't watch TV where there's negativity. I can't handle being around it at all. I'll just shut down, or I'll walk away, or I'll go to sleep, because that's the only way I can deal with it at this time. You know, and all this is like intermittent. You know, some days I'm alright, some days I'm not. Some days I have things that trigger me, like depression and things like that, and some days, you know, I'm fine. Some days I won't even be doing anything and I'll have a panic attack, and the best way I can describe a panic attack is you can't breathe, you feel like you're dying, if that makes sense. You know, you feel like you're gonna throw up. You know, it's just really a bad thing to go through, and I wouldn't want anybody to have to go through it. Once again, I'm sharing all this not to be negative, but for people to understand what it's like for people to have anxiety. You know, maybe some of my friends are like, you know, we invite him to do these things, and then he doesn't go, or he doesn't talk, or doesn't eat, and, you know, kind of makes other people uncomfortable, and I don't want to do that. You know, I'm trying to educate people on anxiety, and I can't speak for everyone who has anxiety, because there's different levels. Some people I'm sure are worse than me, some people are not so bad, but you know, I think the world needs to understand there's people out there that are, you know, extremely sensitive, oversensitive, and you know, we're trying to fit in this world that, you know, can be negative a lot, and you know, people, you know, if you're different, of course, people will either make fun of you, or you know, just stay away from you in general. And I feel bad for people that judge people like that, because there's a lot of good people out there that you know, are prejudged before you even get to know them. I believe in that. Don't judge a book by its cover, because you know, there's so many good people that get prejudged. I want to thank the people who made comments. All of them were positive. I did have a few people that I know say that they don't agree with my no cure from the first video about that I don't believe in a cure, and I just want to explain that again. My definition of a cure is you take, like I said, one pill or one vitamin, and your anxiety's gone. You never have to take that pill again. You don't have to take your vitamins again. It's an instant cure. Now there are people living with anxiety and better than they were before with medication or vitamins or whatever they're doing, meditation, and that's great. But to my definition, that's not a cure. And so I just want to thank those people out there that you know, commented even though they don't agree with some of the stuff I'm saying, you know, I welcome any comments whatsoever. I know people will give me negative, and that's fine. But you know, I just want to, you know, keep people in the loop and try to explain to others about anxiety. That's my goal, and to try to keep this log thing going, to try to help me, you know, deal with it and explain it as best I can. Of course, I forgot to start my timer today, so I don't know how much time I've spoke. I'll, you know, wrap it up in a couple of minutes here, but just thank you to everyone out there for watching my first anxiety part 1. And you know, once again, feel free to make comments if you agree, disagree, or if you have things that have worked for you for anxiety. You know, feel free to share that, because you know, what may work for me might not work for you, and what worked for somebody else may work for you too. So you know, it's a good sharing thing that we can do on here. I think you know, this will be a good thing not only for me but for others. And I'm sorry if I repeat myself. I don't have stuff written down. You know, I just turn the camera on and go. You know, there's no editing. I don't edit the video. It's just, you know, I do it, you know, as I feel I can do it. And hopefully over time I'll get more comfortable and be a better speaker. So I just want to say to everyone out there, thank you, all my family and friends and people I don't know. You know, all the people have anxiety or going through some kind of problems, you're not alone. You know, just hang in there, and you know, get through it as best you can, whether it's with a doctor or whether it's holistic medicine or holistic doctor. You know, just get out there and do something. You can be better. I always say, you know, better not perfect. You know, if you're hoping for perfect, you might not get it. But better is always, you know, greater than, you know, being in misery all the time. And I think it's better to you know, work on yourself. That way you can, you know, work with others as well. So I think I'll end this video. Like I said, I forgot my timer today, and I just want to thank everybody for, you know, watching, commenting. You know, keep the feedback coming. The more feedback I get, the better I know if I'm helping, hurting. You know, if you disagree with what I'm saying or anything like that, you know, make a comment. I'm more than happy to answer any questions. You know, like I said, you know, I don't want to get too detailed, but you know, as I go all along, I'll give more, you know, more detail, but not, you know, too much in my private life, you know, right now. So once again, I'm repeating myself, but thank you, and take care. Bye.